Hey guys, I wanted to show you this. It's a friend of mine's 1968 Ariens 6.5 horsepower snowblower that we picked up real cheap from someone that said it hadn't run in about 15 years. And there was a big reason for that. The engine wasn't even put together at all. I have it over here actually. It was missing the carburetor, missing a lot of the carburetor, missing the fuel tank, missing the air box, missing all of that. So we went to Harbor Freight and got our usual standby, just like my other snowblower, the Predator 212. Now this machine had 6.5 horsepower to start. It's a 6.5 horsepower rated engine. So everything, you know, it's all made for it. My other one is 4 horsepower originally, so you might be able to argue that I'm stressing it a little bit more than it normally would be, but in the case of this one, it's the same amount of power. So a little bit about this. This is 68, like I said earlier. This is the type of snowblower that has the attachments that came with it. So for this particular model, they had like a reel mower and a leaf vacuum and a chipper and all sorts of stuff that would attach right here. So you just have to pull these bolts out and then switch the attachments when you needed to. So this thing has some unique features. We'll go over that in a little bit, but I'll show you some of the stuff about it. It has cast iron gearbox. This has both drain and fill plugs on it, which is interesting. In this particular model, we found that the plugs had never been removed and that there wasn't so much grease left in, so that's okay. It seems like everything's good still. It's got nice tight fit to everything. Nothing's loose. We didn't have to put shear pins in. They weren't even anywhere near worn out. Everything back in there is really in good shape still too. So I mean, this thing must not have had so much time on it. We did have to put a new scraper blade on it. I had to fix the skis. I just welded some plate to the bottom. You can buy new skis for this one. No problem. Swapped out the engine. Now, as you can see, the engine itself bolts right on this machine. You do have, if you have one of these machines, you have to drive out the original bolts and replace them with new ones. Other than that, it flies right on. You don't even need to buy a new pulley or adapter sleeve, which I had to buy for my other machine. It literally fell right on there. I didn't have to modify the shaft at all. This machine is only a single shaft. Some of the later Ariens are dual shaft engine, or have dual shaft engines, and in that case you're in for a workout. But this machine is very simple. Now we did have to do some modifications to get this engine on, because the original Tecumseh is the piston is just straight up and down, and this one comes to the side like this. So the main thing you have to rework is the chute handle control. Originally the chute handle control comes out pretty straight here and then goes underneath basically where the engine is now and comes up to this hole here. So what we had to do is break out the grinding wheel and the welder and add this piece of adapter plate here on both sides. Had to weld that on. So I just changed the angle so we'd get a nice straight run to the chute swivel there. Fits real nice. There is some adjustment in these, so you don't have to get it perfect. The universal joint and everything, that's stock. The length of the handle is stock. Bought a new eye bolt because the other one wasn't long enough and ran it out here. So in this case, yes, if you were going to do this to one of these machines, you would need a welder. But at the same time, if you know how to weld and you can line this up well enough, this is really simple. It's really clean installation. The machine works. It works quite well. I'll run it for you. It works quite well. We did have to do a few other things. As you can see, the chute stops right before it hits the muffler in this direction, but in the other direction, it would have normally hit the gas tank, so I had to put a bolt in it, as you can see. Other than that, you know, we had to replace a few missing parts. This machine does have some things that are kind of different. Let me get up here. I did connect the throttle cable, although slow is fast and fast is slow. You can't flip the throttle cable on this one, so it would be the right way, but it does work. It's a little stiff, but it does work. So there's no problem with that as long as you know what you're doing. This machine never had any wiring up at the top, so we don't need to worry about that. But when you run this machine, you can see it only has one handle, and it also has this pretty unique stop to lock the handle on, and then it has the gear shift. So it does have 4 speeds, a neutral, position, and reverse. But when you want to run this machine, what you have to do is, if you want to run it just on the wheels, you have to leave this part in the out position, which is where it is now, and then you have to kick this in, which this just tensions the belt. Okay, and then you come over to the shifter, depress the lever, select the gear you want, making sure that when you kick the belt in, it was in neutral. Select the gear you want, shift into the gear, and then when you let go of the handle, the machine starts driving. So this thing's a little bit low on the safety features. It'll surprise you a little bit, so you have to be careful with it. 4 is very fast on this machine. Not really sure why they even put it on there, but anyway, if you do want to use the auger part of it and not just drive it around, you'd have to pull the belt down into the off position, which it's in now, and then click that in like that, and you can tell it's a very positive engagement. There's like a 2-eared clutch on each side that has a spring on it, and when you kick it in, it gets a full lock. So at that point, you have your thrower locked in, and then you kick this up and the thrower engages immediately. Now, once again, you have to make sure that it's in neutral on the transmission. This machine will spool it right up. It throws snow really well. We had one day of snow where we got about 2 inches, and I used this machine to test it, and it worked great. I wouldn't say it's quite as, it throws with quite the velocity the Toro does, but it's definitely got plenty of power. It moves the thing nice. It's smooth. It's a very nice machine. And then thinking about that, the other unique feature of this machine is right over here. Now, I don't know why they painted over it, but this machine has this little deal here, and what happens is if you turn it into the position I got it in now, push it all the way in, that locks the differential. And if it's not in that position, it'll actually freewheel side to side, and that's part of the thing that they had to do to get the thing to work on grass for like leaf attachment and everything. But it also is handy for just maneuvering it around your garage in the unlocked position, because it's very easy to steer. It rolls real nice like that. So In any case, this is the Ariens 1968 snowblower. If you can find one of these things for a very low price, like we did for my friend here, I would say go get it, because it works great. It's very cheap. It's very easy to get this engine onto it. It's other than modifying that chute handle, it's practically a bolt-on. This thing's extremely heavy duty. You can buy all the parts for it still, other than the engine, because Tecumseh's out of business. But really any engine you want can fit on this, as long as it's, you know, this 6.5 horsepower or so frame. It's the only downside to it is this lack of safety features. So, you know, in general, I'd recommend it. This one's going to a great home. My friend bought a house. We found this thing, picked it up. We're at well under half the price of a new one with a brand new engine and everything fixed on it. I don't think you could lose on one of these. Everything's steel on this. It's very heavy duty. It's very heavy. That's why it's actually in the back of the truck. I'm gonna go drop it off tomorrow, but you know, great machine. Highly recommend Ariens or Toro snowblowers if you're gonna buy a used old one like this. You know, you just can't beat them. They're great. You know, so that concludes our episode on this Toro, or on this Ariens snowblower. Hope you enjoyed it.